Hello friends, let me introduce myself. V.K. Srivastava. I have done my BTech from NIT Jamshedpur in 1993. I have around 20 years of experience in ITZ coaching. I have been the maths professor in FITG. I have also worked with Brilliant Tutorial. During my working period, I have realized that right approach at the right time, at the right stages of time, is a more systematic, and this should be followed for the enhancement of the student. Now in this video I am going to make a lecture on locus and what is locus, and then we'll discuss about the locus, what is locus. Now my concern is that locus is a very important topic in ITZ preparation, because all the things which are connected with x and y are ultimately find out by the relationship with x and y. So this can be find out with the use of locus. So we have to understand what is locus, and we have to design and we have to formulate what is locus. So we are going to introduce locus, and the importance of locus is it is used widely used in coordinate geometry. We go for a straight line, we go for pair of straight line, we go for circle, parabola, ellipse and hyperbola. In many occasions locus is going to be a very important point. So you have to be very cautious during the watching of the video. So we are going to start locus. What is locus? Basically, locus is nothing but a path traversed by a point with the help of a geometrical condition. So whatever path traversed by a point is called the locus of that point. For example, you see here is the sun and here is the earth. As we know that earth travels around the sun in elliptical way. So locus of the earth is ellipse. As you know that earth has some geometrical condition, that is why it is traversing the point, traversing the curve ellipse. So the path traversed by the earth under some geometrical condition is known as the locus of that point. It means in this case it is earth, and that locus is ellipse in this case. So now we are moving to next example. For example, when we throw a stone on the ground, then we'll find that the stone is moving like this. So you can see that it is basically the stone is following the path of parabola. So here is the importance of locus. Similarly, when you are at the top of the building and you are throwing a stone over here, so you are getting that the stone is falling down on the ground and it is again following the path of parabola. Similarly, when you are traveling on a train and you are throwing a stone, then you can see that the locus of that stone is nothing but the parabola. So in the same way, when we think of a kingfisher, there is a river here and there is a bird here, and here is the fish. So you can see that fish follows a parabolic path to catch the fish. This is the kingfisher, bird, and this is fish. So these are the certain examples of locus. What is locus? And then we'll try to understand how we can find the path of that locus. So we'll try to find out and we'll formulate how we are going to find out the locus. So first of all we'll discuss the point for which we are looking for the locus. We take it as P and let this is equal to h comma k. The coordinate of that variable point is h comma k. Second, find a relation in hk and given geometrical condition. Then replace h by x and k by y, and the output is nothing but the equation of the locus of that variable point. For example, we'll understand how to find out the equation of locus. We are going doing some example for, let there are 2 points A and B. See, for this is 1 comma 2 and this is 2 comma 3. There is a point P such that geometrical condition is PA is equal to PB. Then find locus of P. The geometrical condition is given that PA is equal to PB and point A is 1 comma 2 and point B is 2 comma 3. Then what is the locus of point P? So as we know that in case of finding out the locus, we take point P as H comma K. Now you know that PA is equal to PB, basically the distance between PA and PB. So here we are writing as PA equals to PB. So PA is nothing but H minus 1 whole square K minus 2 whole square equals to H minus 2 whole square K minus 3 whole square. Just squaring it. H minus 1 whole square plus K minus 2 whole square equals to H minus 2 whole square plus K minus 3 whole square. So it's H square plus 1 minus 2H plus K square plus 4 minus 4K. This is equal to H square plus 4 minus 4H plus K square plus 9 minus 6K. So H square K square gets cancelled. You know 5 minus 2H minus 4K. This is equal to 4 plus 9, that is equal to 30 minus 4H minus a 6K. So it is a 5 minus 2H minus 4K minus 13 plus 4H plus 6K equals to 0. So it is 2H plus 2K minus 8 equals to 0. So H plus K minus 4 equals to 0. Now in this equation we will replace H by X and replace K by Y. So this will be equal to X plus Y minus 4 equals to 0. So this is the required locus. So you can understand the geometrical form of it. The locus line will be like this and this will be equal to this, and so this line X plus Y minus 4 equals to 0 will be the perpendicular bisector of the line AB. Remember, it is the perpendicular bisector. Now we are moving to next question. How to find out the locus of a point in this case itself. When PA is equal to twice of P, then what will be the locus of point P? So what we are taking, twice PB means twice of H minus 2 whole square plus K minus 3 whole square equals to square root of H minus 1 whole square plus K minus 2 whole square. So we will just solve it, just squaring it. H square plus 4 minus 4H plus K square plus 9 minus 6K. This is equal to H square plus 1 minus 2H plus K square plus 4 minus 4K. So on solving this, we can find out that 4H square plus 4K square minus 16H minus 24K plus 16 plus 36, and this is equal to H square plus K square minus 2H minus 4K plus 5. So H square K square gets cancelled and we'll find out 3H square plus 3K square minus 16H minus 24K plus 52 plus 2H plus 4K minus 5 equals to 0. So 3H square plus 3K square minus 14H minus 20K plus 47 equals to 0. It means H square plus K square minus 14 by 3H minus 20 by 3K plus 47 by 3 equals to 0. So now replacing H by X and K by Y, we are finding out the equation which is basically the equation of circle. So this is nothing but the equation of circle. So in this case, when PA equals to twice of PB, the locus of point P is a circle. So you can see how the locus problem is solved. Now we are moving to next question. Suppose there is a parabola y square equals to 4x. There is a point P which is a minus 2 comma 1, and there is a point B which lies on the parabola itself. Then we have to find locus of midpoint of PB. We have to find out the locus of midpoint of PB. So what we are taking a point T, which is h comma k. Since it is the midpoint, so you can see that x1 minus 2 upon 2 will be equal to h. So x1 minus 2 equals to 2h. So x1 will be equal to 2 plus 2h. Similarly, you can see 1 plus y1 upon 2 is equal to k, because t is the midpoint. So y1 is equal to 2k minus 1. Now this x1 y1 is lying on the parabola itself, so it will satisfy the equation of this parabola. Now we can put the value of y1 and x1 here, so that we can find out the relationship. So this is 2k minus 1 whole square equals to 4 times 2 plus 2h. So this is 4k square plus 1 minus 4k. This is 8 plus 8h. So 4k square plus 1 minus 4k minus 8 minus h equals to 0. So 4k square minus 8h minus 4k minus 7 equals to 0. Now we are replacing k by y, h by x minus 7 equals to 0. So this is the required locus in this case, and it is a parabola. It is a parabola. So locus of point T is the locus of the parabola. Now we are moving to next question. Say there is a rod AB whose length is, say, for 10 meter. There is a rod AB whose length is around 10 meter. Now we are pulling this in this way. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. So it will come down. So we have to find out the locus of a point P which divide this in the ratio 2:3. Because whenever we are pulling this away from the y-axis, we are finding that each and every point of line AB is moving. It means each and every point is having a locus. It is moving. It is following a particular path. So we are interested in finding out the locus of the point P, which is dividing the line in the ratio 3:2. So what we are taking? We are taking it as A. Say for this is origin and this is B. So this is going to be A comma 0 and this is going to be 0 comma B. Let P is h comma k, because h comma k is going to be the locus in this case. So h is nothing but thrice of 0 plus twice of A upon 3 plus 2. We are using section formula in this case. So we are finding 5h upon 2 equals to A. Similarly for k, k is equal to thrice of B plus twice of 0 upon 3 plus 2. So B is equal to 5k upon 3. Now we are using the Pythagoras theorem to find out a geometrical relationship between A, B and the length. So we can see that A square plus B square will be equal to 100. So now we are putting the value of A and B here. So this is 25h square upon 4 plus 25k square upon 9 equals to 100. So it is h square by 4 plus k square by 9 equals to 4. So h square upon 16 plus k square upon 36 equals 1. Taking locus, it means h is replaced by x and k is replaced by y. So this is x square upon 16 plus y square upon 36 equals to 1, and this is ellipse. So locus of such a point P is the ellipse, whose equation is x square upon 16 plus y square upon 36 equals to 1. Now we are going to discuss the locus of the parametric point. What is parametric point? Parametric point is a point which can define whole of the curve. Only single point can define whole of the curve. Then using that parametric point, we are going to find out the locus of the curve on which this point is lying. So our next target is to find out the locus of P, parametric point P. So parametric point, say for a point P which is A cos theta, A sin theta, where theta is variable. Where theta is variable. Theta is variable means we can take theta equals to 0, then there is a point P1. When theta is 1 degree, then point P2. When theta is 2 degree, point P is. Similarly, when theta is 359 degree, say for it is 360. So there are various number of points over here wherever change of value, change of theta. So theta can take infinite such values. So for infinite such values, point P will take infinite such positions. When we are going to connect all those positions, then it will follow a path, it will follow curve. That curve is known as the locus. Then how to find out the locus of such a point? So we are taking it as P is equal to H comma K. So we are taking H as equal to A cos theta and K is equal to A sin theta. It means we have to find out a relationship in H, K and a constant. Here theta is variable, so we have to eliminate theta. So whenever we have eliminated theta, the resulting is the locus of that point. So we are just going to squaring and adding. So what we are finding, A square cos square theta plus A square sin square theta. So H square plus K square is equal to A square cos square plus sin square theta. So it is H square plus K square equals to A square. Now we are replacing H by X and K by Y. So what we are finding, X square plus Y square equals to A square. So this is the required equation of the locus. Now we'll solve some more questions. Let a point P is 1 plus 2 cos theta and 3 plus 2 sin theta, where theta is variable. Then what will be the locus of point P? So again we are taking point P, H comma K here. So H is equal to 1 plus 2 cos theta. Similarly, K equals to 3 plus 2 sin theta. Now we have to eliminate theta. Whenever we have to eliminate theta, so what we are going to do, H minus 1 equals to 2 cos theta. Similarly, K minus 3 is equal to 2 sin theta. We are just squaring and adding. So this is going to be 4 cos square theta plus 4 sin square theta. So H minus 1 whole square plus K minus 3 whole square, this is equal to 4. Now taking locus, X minus 1 whole square, Y minus 3 whole square equals to 4. And you know that this is a circle. So this is the equation of circle which is following this point. So this point is traveling on this circle. Now we are moving for some more questions. Let a point P be 2 plus 3 sin theta plus 4 cos theta and 3 plus 4 sin theta minus 3 cos theta, where theta is variable. We have to find out the locus of P where theta is variable. So same thing, when you are having infinite values of theta, P will take infinite positions and we have to find out on which curve all those positions are lying. So we are again taking H is equal to, let P is equal to H comma K. So H is 2 plus 3 sin theta plus 4 cos theta and this is K equals to 3 plus 4 sin theta minus 3 cos theta. So we have to eliminate theta. How to eliminate that we have to see. Now in this case what we are going to do is H minus 2 whole square plus K minus 3 whole square equals to 3 sin theta plus 4 cos theta whole square plus 4 sin theta minus 3 cos theta whole square. So H minus 2 whole square plus K minus 3 whole square, that is equal to 9 sin square theta plus 16 cos square theta plus 24 sin theta cos theta plus 16 sin square theta plus 9 cos square theta minus 24 sin theta cos theta. So you can see this and this gets cancelled. 9 sin square theta plus 9 cos square theta will become 9 and 16 cos square theta plus 16 sin square theta will become 16. That is going to be equal to 25. So H minus 2 whole square plus K minus 3 whole square equals to 25. So now taking locus, it means X minus 2 whole square plus Y minus 3 whole square equals to 25. So this is the required locus of such a point where theta is variable. This is a parametric point and we have to eliminate theta. Now we are moving to next question. Say about 2 plus 3 cos theta, 3 plus 2 sin theta, where theta is variable. Then what is the locus of point P? In this case also we'll take P is equal to h comma k. So h is equal to 2 plus 3 cos theta and k equals to 3 plus 2 sin theta. So in this case what we are going to do, h minus 2 upon 3 is equal to cos theta, equation number 1. Similarly, k minus 3 upon 2 equals to sin theta. So we are just going to square and add k minus 3 whole square upon 4. This is equal to cos square theta plus sin square theta, which is equal to 1. So locus is h minus 2 whole square upon 9 plus k minus 3 whole square upon 4 equals to 1. Now we are replacing h by x and k by y. So we are getting x minus 2 whole square upon 9, y minus 3 whole square upon 4 equals to 1. So it is nothing but the ellipse. So locus of this point is ellipse. Now we are going to solve some more questions so that we can elaborate the locus and problems of locus. Let a point be t square plus t plus 1, t square minus t plus 1, where t can take all real values. It means t is variable and whatever infinite values t can take, t will take such infinite values. Then we have to find out the equation of the curve on the point P where it is traveling. So we are again taking P as h comma k. So h is equal to t square plus t plus 1, equation number 1, and k is equal to t square minus t plus 1 equals to 2. In this case also we have to eliminate t. And how to eliminate t? That we have to use. So what we are going to do, just subtracting this. So when we are subtracting this, we can find out h minus k equals to 2t. So t is going to be h minus k by 2. Now we are putting the value of t in one of the equations, say for equation 1 or equation 2, anywhere we can place it. So h equals to h minus k upon 2 whole square. In equation 1 we are going to put plus h minus k upon 2 plus 1. So h is equal to h square plus k square minus 2hk upon 4 plus h minus k upon 2 plus 1. We are taking locus h square plus k square minus 2hk plus 2h minus 2k plus 4 upon 4. So h square plus k square minus 2hk plus 2h minus 2k plus 4 minus 4h equals to 0. So h square plus k square minus 2hk minus 2h minus 2k plus 4 equals to 0. So we are taking locus x square plus y square minus 2xy minus 2x minus 2y plus 4 equals to 0. So this is nothing but the parabola. So locus of such a point is parabola, you can see. So this is the method to find out the locus of a parametric point. We are going to do some more questions so that we can elaborate the things and you can understand the things in a better way. Say there is a point A, t plus 1 upon t, and it is B, t minus 1 upon t, where t is variable. T is variable. It means t is changing its value. So for infinite values of t, we will get infinite values of point P. Now we are going to find out the locus of point P. So we are taking P as h comma k. So h is equal to a times t plus 1 upon t. So we are writing h upon a is equal to t plus 1 upon t. Equation number 1. Similarly, k equals to b, t minus 1 upon t. So k upon b is equal to t minus 1 upon t, equation number 2. Now we have to eliminate t with the help of equation number 1 and equation number 2. So how we are going to eliminate t, that is important. So what we are going to do is just squaring it and subtracting it from other. So it is t plus 1 upon t whole square minus t minus 1 by 2 whole square. So t square plus 1 upon t square plus 2 minus t square minus 1 upon t square plus 2. This gets cancelled. This is equal to 4. So h square upon a square minus k square upon b square equals to 4. So h square upon 4a square k square upon 4b square equals to 1. Taking locus. When you are going to take locus, then h will be replaced by x and k will be replaced by y. So this is going to be x square upon 4a square minus y square upon 4b square equals to 1. So this is the required locus in this case. Now we will do some more questions, 1 or 2 questions, so that we can understand the whole concept. There is a point P and this is a sine theta and this is a sine twice of sine 3 theta, where theta is variable. Then how to find out the locus of point P? So let point P is x comma k. So h is equal to how much? Sine theta, and k is equal to how much? Twice of sine 3 theta. So in this case, k equals to twice. You know the formula of sine 3 theta? It is equal to 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta. So we are going to put the value of sine theta here from here. So k is equal to twice thrice of h minus 4h cube. So k is equal to 6h minus 8h cube. Now taking locus. Taking locus means k is replaced by y, h is replaced by x. So this is the required locus. So you can see that it is a cubic polynomial. So that's all in locus, and that's all from my side. And whatever the things you have to discuss, you can discuss me personally or over the phone, and I'm ready to discuss the things in the way you want, and I'm ready to give you the lecture on the 11th class topic or 12th topic as you have said in the mail. So that's all. Thanks.